The Monday Morning Quarterback.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Has it got this one? You got testing 1, 2, 3. Go Eagles. This is really loud. What'll be here? Is it all right?
Here now.
Open the ears, Dave.
Live from Dockside.
It's live, man. Hey,
Live.
You got the.
I hope you can hear me good. Matthew, we're at the annual Christmas show. Go.
Matthew, have the instrument mic. Hello. The singer's mic. You got it, Dave? Hello. Dave. Matt, can you hear me? Testing. Dave, does he have this one? Do you have this one? Testing. Can you hear me through this? Hello. This is the singer's mic. Okay, now we're going to do Santa's mic. Hello. Copy? Testing 1, 2, 3. Got it? All good. All good.
Testament. sliced bread, and they took care of his ass, you know.
There you go. You want to put this on your pants?
Yeah.
All right?
Yep.
That's okay for you?
Yeah, that's good like that. Is that all right?
Yeah.
How was your party that night, all right?
Oh yeah, how's your tooth?
An implant's $37,000 to $4,000. I said, I think I can smile without showing my teeth.
I heard you got a new employee, huh?
Yes, I do.
Love it.
Hi, Jesse. Yeah, he's fun. I'm so glad I'm
Pardon? Not yet. But do you want to, when I'm on TV?
Pardon me?
Do you want to bring him up when I'm on?
Mike. He said it will pick up everything, so.
Ready to go.
So he said we've got probably 5 commercial breaks.
somebody started the fire.
What's it?
I think somebody started the fire. It's getting warm in here.
I'm going to try to do a Santa selfie video.
Sure.
I'm not good with selfies. There we go.
There you go. That's a good one.
What's your boy Youngblood up to?
We were just talking today. He does a couple of things. He does a podcast with me and Hal Wrestling. We're getting our tickets squared away for Pittsburgh this year. You gotta watch. Yeah, that was a good match. A big match. It was the Heat and Mark Hall went after him the right way this time. Didn't give him a lot of room to stay close to Jason Noel. And Vincenzo looks amazing. I mean, and stud. Got Roman Bravo ticket out of Arizona. He's from Arizona. Went to Penn State. He's a freshman. And interviewed 4 times. He's a stud. And he's man, he was 2 weight classes total last year. And he didn't have to start his shot. So it's good. Yeah, we got another couple coming.
Dave, you got to turn the air conditioner on.
Is that where you want them guns? Okay. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Nervous here. Is that Dimitri?
Yeah.
Taking on this week. Fish tacos. Fin dip. Crab dip.
She's running the Hills Bowl cafeteria and whatever now. She left Applebee's. Yeah. Great job.
It doesn't matter. Let's do this. Let's go through here.
While you were booking the airport, next year you got a little tear from that.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. I know.
You okay, Mr. Reaver?
I'm great. Am I turned on? I'm ready to go.
We got the Santa hooked up. Kim and Paul ready because we're going to be ready to go to you soon. How's your daughter's squad holding up?
Good. She's 4-2, 2-0, or 3-0 in the league. So she's been off for finals, and now she starts up. She's got 2 tournaments, one this weekend at Juniata and one next weekend at Lycombe.
Does she have any local girls from this area at all? No. Anybody she's interested in?
Here's the ball. The ball screen.
Dave, we got to do a test with that audio so we know what key.
And this side goes all the way up to the north side here. The ball screen. All these bars and everything's all here. So we stay at the end here. By the beaches. These are the best beaches right here. There's no beaches up there. Here.
Sing a little bit for us.
Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows. Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes. I don't know if we'll do it on the show. You should. You should. Oh, heck yeah. We did it last night. I love it.
Give me some water.
Yeah. Magic push. Helps your vocals. That's what I tell myself. I know.
Use that skinny lens. Come on.
How about it? I can't hold my breath that long anymore, Kim.
Live from the PCTV studios, the Monday Morning Quarterback.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show. I'm Dave Ridenauer, the Monday Morning Quarterback, and tonight we are live at Doc's Irish Pub in Gilbertsville, PA, for our annual Christmas show, which is always a good time. We have some special guests. We have Santa, we have Kim and Paul, got Coach Reeves talking hoops. We got all kinds of things happening over here at Doc's Irish Pub tonight. So we're going to take a quick time out as we normally do. We have Kim and Paul. They're going to get us into the Christmas spirit here, standing next to Santa Claus over there, and we're going to have a lot of fun here on the show. Kim and Paul, take us out for our first time out.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight.
Right after this.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. This portion of Monday Morning Quarterback is brought to you by A to Z Furniture. A to Z Furniture is located on 296 South Reading Avenue in Boyertown.
Hey, we're back here live at Doc's Irish Pub over here in Gilbertsville, PA. Again, Dave Ridenauer, the Monday Morning Quarterback, joined by my good friend and partner here, Randy Reber, former head coach at St. Pius X High School, Phoenixville High School, and now assistant at Springford High School. And Reeves, we're getting into hoop season now. It's getting a little colder. All the football, high school football is over. We're moving indoors. I can hear the sneakers screeching right now. It's always a fun time as we get started to roll just before Christmas time.
Absolutely, Dave. And we're 10 days into the season, and some teams already have 5 games in. So once the season starts, you get playing and you're flying through it. And this week's a lot of 3-game week for a lot of teams, so it doesn't take long. You run through it, and all of a sudden in February you're into the postseason.
You know, it's funny because back in our day, we would start like the day after Thanksgiving. I know playing football on Thanksgiving morning and then turn around trying to play a game on or at least a practice on that Friday. It was tough, but they start playing games and games and games a little bit earlier to get everything in.
Yeah, everything seems to have become condensed because of the state football playoff, and we get started a little later, and then once you start playing, they want to have you done so that they can have the state tournament. And now with 6 different classes in the state tournament, you have so many teams and so many games, you got to pump your games out in a hurry.
Well, okay, and each week we do have our top 5, and tonight is no different. We have our top 5 brought to you by the Reinhardt boys. There they are. Keith and Ronnie Reinhardt have been with us from our inception here at the Monday Morning Quarterback. They've been doing painting and wallpapering and carrying on since 1946. Old Deacon Reinhardt started, and Keith and Ronnie have done a heck of a job filling in his stead. And let's look at our top 5. Methacton, the defending champs, still doing a heck of a job. Big old Woodward and Duda. We'll talk about them a little bit later. At number 1, Norristown, trying to get back to their glory days, Reeves. And they're at number 2. Springford struggling a little bit right now, but they're going to find their way. At number 3, Phoenixville coming off a couple of big wins. And Pottsgrove finishes out our top 5 for this week.
Okay. I think things are maybe changing a little bit as we move on, as teams get started. Like you mentioned, Springford, we got off to a slow start, but certainly Methacton and Norristown right now appear to be the class of the league.
And Pope John Paul has really surprised some people with their first-year coach, Brendan Stanton, doing a good job. They are 2-0 in the league as well.
Exactly. Phoenixville's 2-0. So is Pope John Paul in the smaller school division, and then you have Methacton and Norristown heading up the bigger division.
And before we get started, I do want to I want to send out condolences to the Eppheimer family. Roger Eppheimer recently passed away, who was a tremendous basketball player in Pottstown, and he and his brother Rick, and of course their sons who played for you, Reeves, Brett, and also Nick, passed away recently, and we had his funeral and services the other day, and his daughter Leah, who was a fine player in her own right, very sadly passed away about a month or so ago. So tough times for the Eppheimer family. Great basketball name in the Pottstown area. We certainly want to send out our condolences and prayers to them, and I'm sure it's going to be a tough Christmas holiday season for them, Randy, but I'm sure they'll get through and move on.
Exactly. The 2 boys are there to support Mom, and they're strong fellows, both having played professional basketball overseas. We certainly wish them the best moving forward.
And, of course, Claudia, who is Roger's wife, is a Reinhardt, so she's part of that Reinhardt painting family as well. And they've always been a great, great family and very, very loyal to us here on the Monday Morning Quarterback Show. All right, Reeves, let's get right into it. Let's check about that Methacton team. They're 2-0 in the league. They had a big win. They played Springford and were able to beat them. Tell us a little bit about what you came out of that Springford-Methacton game with the other night, as Methacton wins 69-50 against the Springford Rams.
Yeah, Methacton's off to a 3-1 start. Their only loss is to a team from Australia in the first game of the year. They just had a big win over the weekend against Newman Goretti out of Philadelphia. So, they're showing that all these returning players are certainly fitting in. But a big key for Methacton has been the addition of Eric Timko. We know about Duda, we know about Woodward, but Timko has just fired back-to-back games where he's had like 21. He had 21 against us at Springford, and I think he followed that up with a 20-point night against Newman Goretti. So now all of a sudden, when you start getting 3 or 4 people that can score the basketball, that becomes a very, very tough team. Very disciplined, play under Coach Durstein. They play a style that not everybody can fit into that type of style. A lot of teams like to go up and down, but he's been very, very successful.
Well, I know Springford's your theory and philosophy was you're going to try to take Duda out of the game, which you did. You held him way under his average. I think he had 6 points, but then you got the big guy, 6'8", Jeff Woodward, who not the fastest guy afoot, but a big guy inside who has gotten better on his interior game.
Exactly, he's improved tremendously. His footwork, like you mentioned, not super quick, but the fact that he worked on his game and his feet have gotten better, that makes you play a little quicker than what you may be if you're just running up and down the court. He had 20-plus against us, and as I said, Timko with 21.
Well, Duda is a guy who's a sharpshooter. He's already signed to go to East Stroudsburg to play at the next level of Division II basketball, and he's the smooth left-handed shooter. He did have a bunch of threes against Newman Goretti, as he and Timko, I think, combined for 10 threes against a team from Philadelphia who traditionally is very, very solid.
Yes, a perennial state contender, so that's a big win.
That certainly is a big win. So, again, keep your eye out for the Warriors down there in Methacton. As you mentioned, Coach Durstein has done a heck of a job down there during his time. Let's talk a little bit about Norristown. Now, Norristown's a team. Binky Johnson was a guy that you and I had certainly heard of and known of for a long time. He's back there now in his second year, and Norristown trying to get back to the way they used to play basketball, which year in and year out they were always very, very good. State run, runs deep in the district, things like that. Now they're getting some of the guys back who were leaving there for some prep schools and Catholic schools. Now they're coming back to Norristown, and Binky's got himself a squad.
Yes, he does. He's got a solid team, and they're playing right now without an all-league player in Vernon Tubbs, who's out with an injury. Their only loss is to Plymouth Whitemarsh, one of the top 6A teams in the state, as we had mentioned on the show last week.
7'3" center,
who's going to Florida State.
Correct, yeah.
So Norristown gave Plymouth Whitemarsh all they could handle, and Norristown with a big, big victory this weekend, beating Lower Marion. Lower Marion, home of Kobe Bryant. Lower Marion's dealing with an injury now. One of their top guards was out of that game. He's going to Columbia, but still, big win, and Binky has them playing together. They have a lot of weapons, and as you mentioned, they have Reddish from Duke's brother moved back from West Town to Norristown. They have another fellow that was there. He had moved away. He's back now. So, like you said, they're all returning, and I think they're going to be a tough team.
Well, Xavier Edwards is a guy who moved down with his relative in North Carolina because he wasn't happy in Norristown. Whatever the situation was, he moves back. So there's more depth at Norristown, and they're going to run players at you and players at you and players at you. You better be able to get up and down the floor when you're going to take on Binky's guys down there in Norristown. Now let's talk a little bit about Pope John Paul. Pope John Paul, we didn't know what was going to happen there. They were very senior-laden squad last year, a lot of young guys. They have a new coach in Brendan Stanton in his first season. People weren't really sure what to expect out of them, but they've won 2 games, knocked off Pottstown, scored over 70 points against the Trojans for their second win here in the Pioneer Athletic Conference.
Right, they're 4-1 overall. 2-0 in the league. Their only loss is to Father Judge in the second game of the year. And Brandon Stanton, Lansdale Catholic grad, and Gwynedd Mercy is doing an outstanding job with them. He was a shooter. Scored 30 points a couple times in his high school career, and I think this team's sort of taking on the style of the coach. They had 11 threes in the win over Pottsgrove.
Yep.
So, certainly they're smallish. That's the thing that may hurt them against some teams. They don't have a lot of size. But as I always say, they may be small and they may have problems guarding certain teams with size, but those teams also have to guard all those guards when they get 4 or 5 out there on the court. So, outstanding start to the young coach's career.
Yeah, Chris White, Drew McKeon, and of course Justin Green is the little playmaker, the ball handler that really distributes the ball as well. Of course, they got a guy, Sean Bustinowitz. They always have to have one of those name guys in there who has done a nice job too, scoring the ball. So a lot of people weren't sure if PJP was going to be able to score enough to win all these games, but they certainly are. As I mentioned, they knocked off Pottsgrove. I apologize. I'm sure that had to be a pretty tough game for Coach Flanagan. He still teaches at Pope John Paul, but he coaches at Pottsgrove. I'm sure that was a little bit of an awkward night for him as well.
Yeah, you may have to put up with a little guff in school the next day, when they come in and knock you off.
Well, the next game of the team we're going to talk about is that Pottsgrove Falcons. They were on the first night of our PCTV network winter sports as they took on the Trojans at Strum Gymnasium in Pottstown. And Pottsgrove really was the better team that night, Randy. They were disciplined. They handled the ball well. They spread the floor. And I was really impressed with Justin Robinson. He had a huge night. Manny Clark is a guy we all know about. But Pottsgrove did a real nice job knocking off the Trojans in our season opener here on the PCTV network.
Yeah, Justin Robinson, I believe, had 27 that game, and that's a lot of points in high school. And he's quite a talent and quite a compliment to Manny Clark. The point scoring guard who can handle a quick ball player, and they're developing some complementary players out there. The Smith fella,
Clem Smith,
it's coming off a real nice game, and so they're 4-1. Their first loss, started 4-0, and then got bumped off by the Pope for their first loss. So, Pottsgrove's certainly a team to reckon with.
And a sophomore named Luke Kaiser, he did a nice job. He was rebounding. He played very well defensively against the Trojans. I found it interesting that Pope John Paul was able to hold Manny Clark scoreless for the first 3 quarters. He scored a couple of points in the fourth quarter when the game was basically already in hand, but Pope John Paul playing really good defensively, and they had that game in hand.
Yeah. That shows that you have a good opportunity to win ball games when a team concentrates on shutting down what they think is your top player or one of your top players, and you can still be very competitive in the game, and other people pick up the slack. That usually bodes well for you as the season progresses.
All right, well, Santa, you're ready to go over there. When we come back from our first break, we got some giveaways for you. Hopefully we have some people in the crowd that come up there that are on your nice list. We'll give away a couple of things over there. We're going to take another quick time out, and Kim and Paul are going to do the honors. Kimberly.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see, every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesmer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you. John H. Griesmer Jr. Call us today or visit our website now.
Okay.
We were away at our time out there. Santa was able to find a good little girl who was on the nice list this year. Santa, we have Beth over there. See what we can do over there with Beth.
Beth? I've heard you were a good girl this year.
I think I was.
Okay. We're going to have a couple giveaways tonight. It seems like today, in order to get something done, you need a process. Is that right, Dave? You need a process. Okay?
Trust the process.
Yes.
Trust the process.
Before, we've had trouble on how to distribute our Christmas presents.
Okay.
How about if we start with anybody in the house tonight that has a birthday in December?
Oh, well, there is somebody.
You think we can find?
There is somebody.
Could you help me out with that?
I can.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
December 20th.
You?
Not me.
Oh, well, bring him up.
Well.
Give Santa, give Beth a little present there, and then we'll go with who's is that Gregory? Yeah, okay. Well, we'll bring up, hey, Gregory.
Okay.
Come on down, Gregory. Come on down.
Thank you very much for your help.
Thank you, Santa.
And if there's anyone else, send them up.
He's coming.
We got a couple people in the house for some. Go over there and tell Santa hello, and we'll give you something there for hooking us up.
Hi, Greg. I hear you have a birthday in December.
I do have a birthday in December.
Okay. On my way back to the North Pole, I have a couple of these items, and I want to give them to the people that are born in December.
Appreciate it.
So, Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Care.
Merry Christmas, guys. All right, Santa. All right, Santa. It's good to always have a couple of things on goal here for Santa. We have some giveaways. Again, our giveaways are courtesy of the of Doc's Irish Pub, of Vallejo's Done Insurance, and of course the State Theater in Boyertown. And the State Theater coming back. Santa, what's going on over there at the State Theater? Anything good happening there? I know things are happening, all kinds of first-run movies at the State Theater in Boyertown.
Seems to be a place to go if you're interested in getting the latest movies. I have not looked at their marquee to see what's presently playing, but I've heard a lot of good reports from people that have been there. They really appreciate how it was restored, and it's going to be a great asset to the Boyertown.
I agree 100%. I want to thank the people from the state in Boyertown. Again, first-run movies. I remember when we were young, it was like $1 to go over there, but they were, all the old movies that were around for a long time. But now they really spruced things up. They can rent that. You can actually rent that out now. They have beer and wine and all kinds of stuff at the State Theater. So we want to thank them for their generosity here on the show. Let's talk a little bit about those Pottstown Trojans now, Coach. We were a little disappointed. We thought we talked to Coach Palladino last week. He was all excited. They were fired up for that ball game, and yet they got down 10-0 in the first quarter and never got themselves out of that hole.
That's a tough hole to dig out of in a rivalry type game, and Pottsgrove came out with tons of energy, jumped on them early, and Pottstown was just fighting an uphill battle, the whole way. I still think Pottstown's going to be a tough team during the course of the year. Coach Palladino is very happy with the team orientation, the way they play together, and see some good things happening there.
Well, Phoenixville jumps back and then knocks them off as well for their second loss, so they are 0-2 in the league. Both times Pottstown has given up over 70 points, Rand, so defensively they got to start to tighten things up at that end.
Yeah, again, another team that is sort of smallish, doesn't have a lot of size, but they're going to have to find ways to defend in order to stay in these games. You can't give up 70 points in the Pac-10 and expect to win many games.
Well, let's talk about Coach Burnett's squad down there at Phoenixville. They are 2-0. We weren't really sure what to expect out of them last year. They took their lumps. They played a lot of youngsters. They have some kids coming back, Quinn and Colton Brown. They have been playing pretty well. They jump all over Pottstown and knock them off by 19. That's a pretty big win for the Phantoms.
Big win, and we're talking about Phoenixville and Pope John Paul being tied for first right at this point, and they're sort of mirror-type teams, both shooting a lot of threes, have good shooters, not a lot of size, so, sort of mirror images of each other. I believe Phoenixville's only loss was to a good Garnet Valley team, right. So, there's somebody to reckon with. I just think this league is turning out to be exactly what it was meant to be when it was built. It's more built, to be honest, for basketball, I think, than football. The larger schools in football dominate a little bit more than the larger teams in basketball. On any given night in basketball, you better be ready to play because you can get bumped off.
Well, Phoenixville, you mentioned Phoenixville lost their first game and now has won 4 in a row. So they certainly are playing well. And again, this is a week that you talked about, Randy. Springford plays 3 games. They play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I'm sure some of the other Pac-10 or Pioneer Athletic Conference teams, are as well. So this is going to be a big week here in our conference. Let's talk about your team a little bit now. I know they started off with the two of the better teams, number 1 and number 2 in my top 5 with Methacton and Norristown. So they're starting out a little bit tough and maybe a little misleading at 0-2.
Yeah, we need to defend a little better. We're giving up a lot of points, a lot of easy baskets, which you can't give, but a lot of the easy baskets are because we're turning the ball over. You have to protect the ball, especially when you play a Methacton, Norristown type team. You can't give them extra opportunities. So that's something Coach Talley's trying to shore up. We do have, one of the outstanding players in the league, in Noah Baker. Very, very talented. Had 30 in the Norristown game, kept us in the game, which we lost in overtime eventually. We're bit with a little bit of injury bug right now. Trey Medeiros, one of our top projected starting players, is out with an ankle. He'll be out for a couple more weeks. So we're just trying to find ourselves. And like you said, 3 games this week, so we have a tough opponent coming up in Boyertown tomorrow night. Boyertown coming off a big win over North Penn, so you have to be ready, like I said, every night, and it all starts tomorrow night with a 3-game week.
Well, we also, I think Pope John Paul and Springford, you guys play on Thursday night, and the PCTV network will be there for that game, where we thought originally it was supposed to be at Pope John Paul, but we might find out now it's going to be played at Springford. But either way, we will be there Thursday night for our second game of the Pioneer Athletic Conference boys basketball season, as the PCTV network will be there. I think Coach McGee and myself will be calling that game. So Pope John Paul and Springford should be a good one. Pope John Paul at 2-0. You guys at 0-2. Maybe 1-2 after Boyertown tomorrow night, but we'll see how that goes. But that should be a good one. Perk Valley now is all of a sudden a team. They gave Norristown all kinds of fits, took them to the wire, actually had the game in hand, and lost it in the fourth quarter. They lost by 1 to a very good Norristown team. Obviously, Tyler Stretche is a guy that we all know about, but tell me a little bit about this Krause.
Yeah, Zach Krause. He can shoot the ball, too. I believe he had 5-6 threes in that game himself. So now they have Perkins Valley has 2 tough scorers. So now you can sort of spread the court, get the ball in either one of those hands. We'll find out where they're at because they go against Methacton tomorrow night. So, they just lost a tough one, to Norristown. We'll see how they bounce back, go against the other top team in that division, Methacton.
Okay, well, real quick before we take another timeout, tell us a little bit about Boyertown. You got Hunter Borgman, who was one of the underclassmen. Eric Salata is a guy, a little ball handler who is pretty quick. Tell me what you know about Boyertown.
Yeah, Boyertown's a young squad. I believe they may even start 4 sophomores, and then the one senior Borgman had a big game in the win over North Penn. I believe he had 5 threes in that game. It seems to be a common theme as we talk about these teams now. The 3-point shot has become, quite a weapon for many, many teams because there really isn't a ton of size in the league. So you have to score from beyond the arc.
And one thing you got to be careful of, they beat North Penn. They were 11 for 11 from the foul line in that fourth quarter. I remember we talked about the Eppeheimers. I remember used to calling it BET, Brett Eppeheimer time, when he used to have the ball in his hands in that fourth quarter because he was going to shoot 90% from that foul line. Boyertown did a real nice job. Salata was 7 for 7, and Boyertown 11 for 11, so make sure that you keep them off the line, Coach.
Yeah, if you can get it. That's why you love to have the lead late in the game. If you can shoot fouls, we were very fortunate all my years at Pius that we used to make more foul shots than our opponents would take. So that was always a big factor. So going into tomorrow night's game, we certainly can't be behind Boyertown late in the game.
All right, well, we're going to take another timeout. We got Kim and Paul, Sam over there behind them, taking us out to a break. And we come back, we'll have more right here on the Vallejo Stun Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling. Christmas Day. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesemer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Oh, we're back. Okay, here we are. All right, we got all kinds of things happening here, over here live at Doc's Irish Pub in Gilbertsville, PA. Again, I want to thank Steve and Bill and Shell and all the guys, girls and guys, for helping us out over here. It's always a fun time. I happened to run into a good friend of mine over the weekend over at the Planet Fitness. He was in there working out. He and his pop and Will Gregory, huh? Will Gregory in the house.
That's my uncle.
Okay, he's your uncle? Okay. All right, there you go. And my buddy, real Rasul Faison, former all-star player for the Potts Grove High School Falcons, who is now prepping for a year. There you see a good picture of me and his pop there doing a little core work, huh, bro? That's it. So Rasul's up at Salisbury, Connecticut, a prep school for a year, and doing very, very well up there. And it looks like you're starting to pick up your workout intensity a little bit, huh?
Yeah. So I'm just getting started because I took a little break after the season just to like give my body a rest, but now I'm back at it with my dad as I'm home. So
that's cool. Now, how long are you home for the whole Christmas break?
I'm home for 3 weeks. I go back the first week in January.
Okay, that's good. And of course, there you see some of the things that you were able to accomplish this year, and you really had a great season. You put the last 3 seasons together. It's been pretty good. Your junior year, senior year, Potts Grove. Now your post-grad year up there at Salisbury, pretty solid for you.
Yes. So we so this year was
Crimson Knights, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Crimson Knights.
Similar to Alabama.
All right, there you go.
So we played only 8 games this year, but the season went well. We went 5-3. We lost in the 2 tough games. We lost 2 of our games. We lost with 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds to go in the game. And yeah, we had a really good season this year. So
that's cool. Well, everybody remembers what you were able to do at Potts Grove. You played in the Big 33 game, which was a pretty big thing for you. Tell us a little bit about that experience, because not everybody realizes that they take the best players in the state of Pennsylvania and put them together for that big game.
Yeah, it was definitely a great experience just being around like some of the top commits in our state. And versus Maryland, like some of the best players from Maryland, well, mainly most of the best players from Maryland, and just seeing where I was at against the best. So like that was definitely like a good game to participate in, and it was like, and like the whole week just practicing with them, being around them, it was a really fun experience.
So how did you feel like when you're looking at other running backs and other players in that game? Did you feel pretty comfortable, like you definitely belonged in it?
Yeah, I felt like I did pretty well. It was an all-star game, so the clock was running really fast. So like the carries I did get, I feel like I did what I had to do.
Did you play at Hershey? Was that?
It was at a high school in Harrisburg this year. They changed it 2 years ago from Hershey.
I remember that used to be in Hershey. But that certainly is a prestigious game. And of course, there ain't many higher awards than being a Monday morning quarterback player of the year either. But you were able to be a couple years in a row. You got
2 times in a row. Yeah.
2 times in a row. And even though I misspelled your name there, I got it straightened out now.
Yeah.
And I also felt so bad about that. But I thought I had it right, but I got it going now. But again, that was certainly a great honor for you and well-deserved as well, man.
Thank you.
Well, it's funny. You and I were talking a little bit before we went on air, and some of my little buddies around the area were busting on you and Pennypacker. They had to wait for you and Pennypacker to get out of here before they could win a state playoff game.
Yeah, they put together a great season, and shout out to Coach Hawthorne. He did a really good job, especially having so much pressure from Coach Pennypacker, a legendary coach. But that was a good season they put together, and congrats to
Ryan
them.
Bedall's had a great year. He was one of the players of the year this year.
I was actually just working out with Ryan Bedall earlier today.
Okay.
He's huge now.
Yeah, he is. And you're getting bigger too now. What are you up to?
So last year I was 185 during my senior year. Now I'm 207. So
okay,
I was
22 pounds, all muscle, no fat.
I hope so.
Yeah, and I actually even think you got taller too. I was talking to you the other day. I said, man, I don't remember. You were like, but I to me, and you're getting. So you have a little late growth spurt.
I think I'm around 6 foot.
Yeah,
6 foot. So.
Well, another thing I was talking to you about, which you're prepping for a year before you go to college next year, but your birthday isn't until February. So you are still young. You're still only 18 yet, right?
Yeah,
so you got some time to grow, and this year is going to be a good one for you. Now you're up there in an all-male prep school. I'm sure that took a little while to get used to. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was definitely different, but it was definitely like a lot of advantages to it because we get to really just focus on us and not have to worry about female distracting us. So now we just getting our work done. We're all studying. We're working out after school. We're just getting what we need to get done. You know what I'm saying?
Coat and tie every day?
Coat and tie. That's different. So, yeah.
So you got to get up there and learn how to do all that stuff. as well. But your grades were real good. You were up to like 3.7 for your grades, and now you're getting those board scores up so you can go where you want to go. And that's great. And that's, again, for all the youngsters, we have a lot of young kids out here that love watching this the shows, and you guys that are certainly role models for them. But those grades really mean a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad that, like, I'm happy I got to get a second chance at high school, basically. But, like, for anyone watching that's younger, do your schoolwork.
Do your schoolwork. Don't be messing around in school and just going to party time and doing what you have to do, because, again, ultimately it is. Now, you're getting towards that recruiting time now in January. Any areas that you're looking at, especially that you're interested in? I'm
going to definitely take a couple of visits to some schools up north, try to stay close to home, but I definitely have my eye on a couple of schools down south. Probably 2 or 3 schools I'm going to go visit down there. So I'm going to leave early January to go back to school and get started back on my visits. So.
Okay, and what are you allowed? 6, I think, right?
We're allowed 5 official visits.
5 official visits, so make sure you take advantage of all of them, because they are a lot of fun. Now, tell us a little bit more about what you were able to learn up there this year away from home. Was that a problem for you, first time away from your family and being away from home?
I actually thought it was going to be a problem, but I adjusted to it fast because, like, all the other kids are away from their families. So, like, they, like, brought me in. They made me feel comfortable to my surroundings, the community. Like, they brought me in, and it was really nice. So I adjusted pretty fast, and I had a lot of help. So, like, it was nothing like I didn't feel uncomfortable, so it was a good experience.
So are you in like a dorm room setting kind of a thing? Is it just you and another guy, or what?
It was, I have me and another roommate, and he's a football player, but he's in the same predicament I'm in with post-grad. So he's doing a post-grad year. So we literally have, like, a lot of things in common that we're just working on.
Now, were they only allowed a certain amount of post-grads to play on the football team? Because it is a 9 through 12 school, right? Yeah. Similar to the Hill School.
9 through 12.
But they're allowed to have X amount of guys like yourself?
We're allowed to have 4 post-grads for football on each team. 4 post-grads.
Well, I was looking at the website and the pictures. What a beautiful school and a beautiful campus. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that as well.
So it's not that many kids there. So it's only like 300 kids.
Something. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And, like, so we all get our own. There's like 2 kids to a room. The facilities are beautiful. Like, we have like a math and science building and an English and history. Then we have, like, art and all that downstairs. And we have multiple gyms, multiple football fields, baseball fields. So it's a really nice facilities down there.
Well, being from Pottstown, and I certainly know a little bit about the Hill School stuff, but Hotchkiss was one of the teams that you played.
Yeah, we
and
played
that's a name that was similar to that I think the Hill School used to play. And Avon Old Farms was another school that the Hill School. So there are some similarities between the Hill School and Salisbury.
Yeah, a lot of somewhere. It's pretty much the same school, just a different state.
That's cool. Now, what kind of things, now that you've been there for a while, what kind of things do you hope to get out of it yet before you're done up there in Connecticut to make sure you're ready for your freshman year in college?
Just keep maturing myself, like, understanding what I got to get done when I get to college. So, like, really just working on myself, working on my study habits, working on my football stuff for school. So pretty much the same things I'm working on now, and what I learned a little bit, I just got to keep working on those things. So.
Well, it's funny because I saw you did play a little defense this year.
Yeah.
I know I was always telling Pennypacker to put him back there and be the safety, but he never let you play there.
So funny. So my first year at Pottsgrove, I played in strong safety versus Boyertown.
Okay.
It was like 90 degrees out. And I kind of like passed out. It was so hot outside. And ever since then, he never believed I could play both ways. So he never gave me another shot.
But it was funny because you did have a couple of tackles. And I did see some of your stuff. And it was interesting to see because you averaged over 9 yards a carry up there. Yeah. Very similar to what you did while you were at Pottsgrove. So every time you touched the ball was almost a first down.
Yeah.
We had that one big game where you had 5 touchdowns against Kent, which was probably your best game of the year. Was probably it?
It was my second best game, actually. Yeah, so I had a really huge game versus Williston. I had 6 touchdowns and over 400 all-purpose yards.
Did you really?
So
yeah.
that was a big one for me.
Yeah, that was awesome. But you, like I said, I still look back at that senior year where you had almost 3,000 yards and 42 touchdowns. A lot of teams don't score 42 touchdowns, and you had it by yourself. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, pretty awesome. And I guess the big game is the Bethlehem Catholic teams that were very, very tough. And I know they came in there. I read the coaches that all they wanted to do was to stop you, and you still found ways to score. But those were some pretty big games.
Yeah, they were some. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
well, it's always fun, man. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, whenever you're around, always give us a call. You're always good here on the Monday Morning Quarterback. And I know your mother and father are very proud of you, as we all are. And keep up the good work. And hopefully we'll be seeing you on the big screen somewhere along the line down here soon.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
All right, Rasul Faison, formerly of the Pottsgrove Falcons, now as the Salisbury Crimson Knights. Yeah. Red Knights, baby. Red Knights is a good thing. All right, man. Well, we have our singers over here. We have Kim and Paul. We have Santa. We got some stuff we want to give away. We're going to take a quick time out. We come back. We're going to have all kinds of stuff here going on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Santa baby, slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, a 54 convertible to light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this. Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesmer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Santa found another young lady who was on the nice list and the good list this year. Santa, who do we have?
We have Lisa here. She stopped by and said, I was a good girl this year. Do you have anything for me? And we always have something for the good girls, right, Dave?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we're going to give Lisa a Doc Watson's t-shirt and a Miller Lite beer mug.
Nice.
Okay.
And unfortunately, Lisa's a Giant fan.
I know.
But she said she has an Eagles friend, so we have a Super Bowl t-shirt. Okay?
Thanks, Santa.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, she'll find some of you that. And again, one of the shirts that Lisa got is a Vlahos Dunn shirt for the veterans, and Lisa is a veteran of the United States service, and we want to thank her for your service, Lisa, and have a great, great holiday season. My man, who I always go to at this time of year, we love to get him on the show and talk football. James Coleman in his 14th season? 14th season as an NFL referee. And I know that the refs have taken some hits this year, James, in some of the games, particularly if you're an Eagles fan or whatever, some of the games. But we always love having you on here and seeing how you're doing and how's everything going.
Hey, it's been a great year.
Good year?
Yeah, great year. Yeah, absolutely. Even though, you got a lot going on in the league and all that, it's still, it's been a good year.
And you're healthy?
I'm healthy, still healthy. No nicks and all of that.
No concussion protocol?
Yeah, no concussion protocols. It's been good.
That's good. That's
absolutely.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I looked at some of the games that you were done, and September 9th, you were at the Steelers and the Browns game, a tie, right?
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
there for that.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of people who are like, well, how did that game end up in a tie? Maybe can you explain the rules as far as the overtime? They get like 10 minutes and that's it, right?
Yeah, they get like 10 minutes. Both teams had the ball and no one scored, and they kept going back and forth. They couldn't make a field goal. They couldn't score a touchdown, and time ran out, and that's it.
And it was probably an interesting game for the Browns fan, for one, because, for so many years they hadn't won games, they hadn't been in games, and now they end up tying the Steelers early on in the season. That was the season opener.
Yeah, it was, and it rained the entire game.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, exactly. It was raining, but, it's kind of funny because now you look, and the Browns still have an opportunity to make the playoffs.
I know.
Right. So,
well, Baker Mayfield has certainly been a difference maker for that team.
Absolutely.
He's there. Was that game in Pittsburgh or Cleveland?
That was in Cleveland.
That was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So you had a rainy day in Cleveland.
Rainy day in Cleveland, not a snowy day.
Now, did you have all your gear on? That were you prepared for?
Yeah, we were prepared for it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's got to be no fun. I was watching a little bit of the Giants game this past weekend, or yesterday, as a matter of fact. And man, it was raining up there all day.
Right,
too.
exactly.
It looked bad up that way too. But so you were at that game, and I had to think that was probably a pretty interesting game for you.
Yeah, for week 1 of the season and all that. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Geez, oh man. And there you have a tie ball game. I also looked and checked some of your other games that you did, and on December 2nd you did the annual Oakland and Kansas City game, and that's always a tough game. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
That's a tough one to get into. Huh?
Absolutely. Even though Oakland had down and all of that, but Kansas City comes to town and the fans were ready. And, Oakland played very well. They ended up losing at the end, but it was a fun game.
In Oakland,
right?
Which you're in the black hole there,
yeah,
which has always got to be fun for you.
The fans were there and they stayed the entire game. Oakland stayed in the game, and it came down, to the end of the game, and so it was a great game.
Yeah, I know, because I hear some of the players and the talking heads on the TVs and stuff about, Oakland now, this is their last year, or could be one of the last years playing there, and they're having problems with suits over the stadium and stuff. But the Oakland fans are pretty fun, I'm sure.
Yeah, they are. They're great. I always love going there and just walking out on the field and they're dressed, they're screaming, they're yelling at you.
It looks like a Halloween party out there.
Exactly
really
right.
does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about Patrick Mahomes, though. I mean, he's got to be exciting. Man. That guy's unbelievable, isn't he?
Great. Yeah, he's all over the place. Great talent. Good for the league. And I can tell you a little story. In the fourth quarter, I was on the Raiders sideline, and he's running around, throwing, making plays, and all that. And he makes a play, and he ends up over in front of the Raiders head coach, and he looks at him. He said, "Mahomes, would you please make a mistake? You're just too good. You're too good."
That's cool.
This is the Raiders coach.
Telling them that.
So that just lets you know how good he is.
Yeah, he is really good, and he's really come on, and it's awesome that Andy Reid is our guy from Philadelphia.
Exactly.
And he's out there now, and he certainly has got the benefit of that. But tell me a little bit about you're the side judge.
Side judge,
right?
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how fast Tyreek Hill is.
Very fast. Yeah. When you see him on your side, I take maybe 3 or 4 yards just back. Yeah.
So you do notice that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We notice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, he is fast as heck. Now, is there anybody else out there now that you really are sort of conscious about when they're on your side with that speed?
Well, you know what? I was had Atlanta this weekend, and Julio Jones can run and all that. So when he comes to your side, you pretty much know that he's going deep.
Was that in Atlanta?
That was in Atlanta, yeah.
So you were inside, though,
yeah,
right?
we were inside. It was nice.
Well, he got nicked up a little bit, didn't he?
The second half and all that. But at the beginning of the game, you had Julio, and then Atlanta has their not Atlanta, but Arizona has their defensive back. I forget his name.
Or Peterson?
Peterson. Yeah, Peterson. So before the game, Peterson comes up to me and tells me, this is going to be a physical game. Let us play. We don't like each other, but let us play.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I will let you play, but I just said, okay, I will let you play, but you're not screwing up our game today as long as you play legal.
Well, and I think that talks about the respect they have for you as well. They feel comfortable with
coming up to you. Absolutely.
Yeah. 14 years in the league, you certainly have earned that right as well.
Yeah, and the very first play, they line up on my side of the field. It's Julio and Peterson, and they go deep to Julio, and then Peterson is all over him, and I have nothing, and they look at each other and smile and say, "Hey, as long as you guys keep it that way, I'll let you play today."
That's cool. That's really cool. Well, Matt Ryan is certainly a guy that we know. He's from the area, grew up in the Downingtown area, and he has been down in Atlanta for quite a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
So, he's a guy that can wing it a little bit as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's always good to.
How's Larry Fitzgerald? Does he still he's slowed down a little bit?
Slowed down a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They threw to him. He still can get open, and still a major part of the offense. But you can tell he's slowing down. He had lost a step or two.
Yeah. Wow. So that's pretty cool. But Arizona, I was wondering how they were going to do. They got their rookie quarterback Rosen out there.
Exactly.
What was his game like? Okay.
He has no offensive line, the one that really, block for him. It's kind of hard to tell right now. When he has the time, he can throw and hit the receiver, the open receiver and receivers, but he has no line right now. Yeah.
Well, that's normally the way it goes for a lot of them. We talked about, Lisa was just sitting on Santa's lap. They're a big Giants fan. And, Eli certainly is not who he was 5, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah. But with no offensive line, that really...
Yeah, hard to gauge. Yeah, exactly.
That makes you look a lot worse.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what you are. Yeah.
Now, did you get a chance to do them? Did you see Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, I did. Absolutely.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tell me about his deal.
Yeah. He's a talent. He's going to be good, and hopefully they can get a quarterback in there in the line and some players around him. And
with he and Odell Beckham, obviously they have two weapons that they can utilize, but their offensive line really hasn't been strong at all.
Exactly.
Now, how about Saquon's physical stature? I mean,
he's a specimen. Yeah, exactly. You just look at him. His thighs are probably twice the size of mine, and he can run. He's powerful, and as long as he can stay healthy, he's going to be good.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, and then again, I appreciate you coming on the show, and we always like to talk about some things. But this year, some of the things that were going on as far as the roughing the passer calls and some of the pass interference calls and things. How hard is it for you to make those calls now? I mean, do you feel like you have Big Brother looking over your shoulder with that instant replay, or do you think that sort of helped the game out?
No, it's helped the game. We go out, believe it or not, I can speak for the entire staff. We just go out and we work the games. Replay is replay. The fouls that we call, those aren't reviewable. You have TV that may agree or disagree with the calls that we make, but we just go out and we work the game, and
Well, who is the referee or the umpire? I guess is who's the white
referee? Yeah.
Referee.
Yeah, referee on my crew is Sean Smith. I'm working with a rookie referee.
Okay.
We have 4 rookie referees this year.
Okay.
So and Sean Smith is my rookie referee. We've done well. I mean, they don't put the rookie referees in quote what they would call the big games.
Yeah.
But we've had some good games, and coming down the stretch here. Next week you're
going to New England next week.
Buffalo.
Huh?
So he's through that. I guess you would say that probationary period, and we've done well. So I expect next year we'll probably be together, and hopefully we'll be one of the premier crews in the league.
Well, you're up at Buffalo in New England, which all of a sudden turned out to be a pretty big game.
Exactly.
New England's lost a couple now, and Buffalo right in the mix. So that should be interesting. First of all, have you checked the weather out for New England?
I already have. Yes.
All right. What is it looking like?
43 degrees.
Okay.
Summertime.
Summertime up
exactly,
there.
Yeah. It was the first thing I did was look to see what it was going to be like this week.
I know, because you always have your underwater gear and all that.
Yeah,
your
exactly.
scuba gear and stuff ready to rock and roll.
So this weekend should not be bad. 43 degrees in New England this time of the year. I'll take it.
Well, now when will you go up there? When do you normally go? A Saturday?
Well, we usually leave Saturday before the game. I'm actually going up Thursday this week because I'm going up. I have some business to do for my own business.
Okay.
So I'm flying up Thursday and driving out to Springfield, and then I'll be there Friday and all of that.
Nice.
Yeah, and the rest of the guys will be in on Saturday morning.
Now, have you ever had any dealings with Brady at all? I mean, do you?
Just before the game, how's it going? How you doing? Good to see you again.
Right.
And and all of that. So
I know he's sort of on everybody's top 10 of hate list because they're so good, he and Belichick all the time. But I was kind of wondering what kind of guy he really was.
No, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I would think he would be.
Yeah,
I think he's a competitor.
Right,
he wants
exactly.
to win.
Yeah, exactly. He's an athlete. He wants to win.
Yeah.
A lot of people, maybe dislike him, but a lot of people don't like winners.
Right, exactly.
But you have to
and what they've done every year in and year out is crazy.
Right.
It's really something. All right, well, listen, we're going to take a time out.
Okay,
I got some more time
Oh,
here.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We got some more time out. We're going to take a time out. We have our singers over there, Kim and Paul, and we're going to take us out for a little break. We come back with more with James Coleman, NFL referee.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing are bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Established in 1916 and granted membership into the Philadelphia Golf Association in 1920, Brookside Country Club is well known for its challenging layout and true, fast greens. The William Gordon design provides a challenge for golfers of all abilities. Brookside Country Club offers traditional club amenities in a family-friendly atmosphere. Brookside Country Club, where elegance and excellence are par for the course.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Hey, we're live here at Doc's Irish Pub here in Gilbertsville, and Santa found another young lady who was on the good list. How about Stephanie, Santa?
Well, this is Stephanie, and like we started out the program, we might as well follow with the process. It seems to be working out. Okay, so we got
the process.
We got a Miller Lite beer mug for Steph. She's been a good girl this year. And our friends from Vlahos and Dunn Insurance, they brought some T-shirts along, and we'll give these out. Hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Santa.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steph, and have a very happy holiday, honey. Appreciate it. Thanks, Santa. Hey, Santa, real quick. Hey, Gus, keep on Santa for a second there. I wanted to ask you, Santa, I know you're really involved with the Moment of Peace Adventures, and I thought it might be a good time now for you to tell us, give us a little update on what's going on with the Moment of Peace Adventure, the charity that I know you are very, very involved with, Santa.
Okay, Dave, since I've introduced you to Moment of Peace Adventures about 5-6 years ago, and we did a little thing for your TV show, we've come a long way. This year, we've taken 5 children, which totals up to 45 children since 2010. We've become a little bit better known than when we first started out, of course, but we have some great corporate sponsors. Red Robin Restaurants, Cabela's Sporting Goods. It's hard to remember all of them, but locally we have sponsors on our traveling RV, okay? And we're known now in a tri-state area, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, and it's really been going good.
All right. Well, keep up the great work, Santa. It's certainly well known. And for those of you who don't really understand or could understand that, was the Moment of Peace Adventures is almost like the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, really? Okay.
They take handicapped kids on hunting trips, and they shoot elk and deer and all kinds of stuff. They fish, and they get all this big game, and they take them on these trips, and it is awesome. And you see these kids, you've seen them where they got a chance to meet Tom Brady and the players and Michael Jordan's, whatever. Well, they take them on these hunting trips, and they take them out there and get them these big game animals, and are able to get them. It's an awesome thing, and Santa, keep up the good work for the Moment of Peace Adventures.
A new website now was donated by a company in Delaware, and they're quite expensive, but if anybody wants to get on and see what we're doing, we have video and pictures of all the kids' trips, and it's momentofpeaceadventures.com.
All right.
Hey, thank you, Santa. You know what? I want to do something. I'm going to say right now, since I have Santa here and all of that. We periodically in NFL, our crews and all that, towards the end of the year, we have foundations and things that we make contributions to. So right here, I want to make a $500 contribution to him.
Wow,
so
how about that?
I would definitely make sure that he gets that.
So you heard that here. James Coleman from the NFL referees are going to donate $500 to the Moment of Peace Adventures. That's awesome.
I will get his information.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, Santa's been doing a great job. I did a half-hour special with them a few years ago, and I'll tell you, I had tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe all the stuff that they do.
Okay.
And it's great, and that's awesome coming from you, James, and the NFL referees.
You know, it's funny. You're going to New England this week, and I said about Brady. I forgot to ask you about our guy from Boyertown.
Just right
James
here.
Devlin.
James Devlin,
James
yeah,
Devlin.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right here in our backyard.
Yeah. How's he doing? I know you get a chance to talk to him, right?
Yeah, every time I have a New England game, I make it a point to go up and, talk to him, shake hands, wish him good luck, and, he looks and, we hug each other, shake hands, and say,
Well, tell the Monday Morning Quarterback, ask about him as well. He was on my show years ago when he was a senior in high school.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I'll definitely let him know.
Make sure you tell him that we certainly are rooting for him. I picked him for my fantasy football.
Did you?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. My son Christopher and James and my younger son Nick, they all used to work out together at Johnny Carlisle's fitness club. And so I became very friendly with those guys, and then we had a lot of fun, and he was a great kid. I mean, there's a guy who made something out of himself.
Right, exactly.
He was an offensive guard and a defensive end or whatever,
right.
And now all of a sudden he's a Pro Bowl type fullback for a world champion.
Right, exactly, and has like two rings on and all that at least. So it's always good to see
the locals
do well.
Right. And there's a very intelligent kid.
Exactly.
It's funny, we were talking to Rasul Faison earlier about how he's working on his grades. He said, listen, high school's not a joke. Make sure you have your grades together, whatever. He's learning that up there at prep school. And James Devlin is a graduate of Brown University.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he's certainly pretty cool. Now, tell me a little bit about, you haven't had an opportunity to see Drew Brees in his show this year, but I'm sure that you stay on top of all that stuff. They're playing tonight in the Monday night game, and he's got it going, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does have it going, and they're an exciting team to watch. A big game tonight. They have the Panthers, and we have had the Panthers. We actually had the Panthers in Seattle a few weeks ago, which ended up being a great game. Came down to the end of the game with Seattle kicking a field goal to win the game, but. So it's going to be they're in the same conference, so it's going to be a good game tonight.
Well, they played 2 times. They played tonight, and then they played the last game of the season. So they played 2 times in 3 weeks.
Right, exactly.
So that's going to be tough. But we talk about, you look at Saquon Barkley. Tell us about Cam Newton. Now,
he's a specimen.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, you look at him and you think,
man,
is he a quarterback?
Yeah, he's an athlete.
He can't be a quarterback, but he is. And it's just, and he's an exciting player. Anytime you have the Panthers, it's a fun game. It's an exciting game. The energy level is way up. And those are the games that you enjoy doing.
Now I don't know if you're aware or not, but they do a thing on ESPN and they check all the guys with their outfits on, and Cam's a pretty snappy.
Yeah, he's a dresser, right?
And all that stuff.
Exactly.
I was wondering if you could compete with him, James.
I try sometimes. You know what? My wife, she dressed me pretty good, so I try to. I don't think I'm up at that level yet, but
I knew Deborah had to have some say in this.
Yeah, exactly right.
She'll take good care of that for sure.
Yeah,
but she's great. She's always around too to help us out. But he is a snappy dresser with all the hats and all the different things.
Yeah,
that's all good stuff. But you talk a little bit about some of the players. Is there anybody else who sort of jumped off the screen at you this year that really, not that it even came out of nowhere, but started to make a name for themselves that you found interesting and exciting this year?
Just not jumping off, right now. They just, kind of jumps out. We go to so many stadiums and so many places and all that, and each weekend is like a blur unless
I bet.
Actually, I take that back. Even though the first weekend I had Cleveland, they started, rookie quarterback wasn't playing, but.